Hi, everybody. Welcome to Prep Composition English 099. My name is Valerie Malott, and I'll be your instructor for the course this spring. I'm going to share my page here, share my screen, so you can see our course homepage. So this is the homepage. This will be up probably for the first couple of weeks, and then I might switch over to the modules. It varies from semester to semester depending on how I think students are accessing the information. I think this is fairly intuitive as the way that it's set up. It's a course shell that I got from UC Online. So those of you who might be UC Online students, you will probably be very familiar. If you're taking other online courses, you might be very familiar with the way the course is set up. So we have these buttons up here: getting started, resources, syllabus, and modules. They take you to different parts of our course. And below, we also have course content with links to the weekly modules. Right now, only weeks 1 through 5 are unlocked for you. And the reason for that is twofold. First of all, I don't want you to be overwhelmed with the amount of information that we will be covering this semester. It is a lot of information, but in bite-sized chunks, I think sometimes it's easier to digest instead of having the whole thing laid out in front of you. That may change. I'm also adding course content and revising some assignments. So I've gotten weeks 1 through 5 done. I'm happy with how things look and how the assignments sound. I don't think I've left anything out. The only thing that will be added to those weekly modules is a weekly overview video that I will record each week and post before the week starts. So yeah, I'm still adding things for the second 2/3 of the semester, but I may unlock those depending on how things are going and how I feel you all are getting acclimated to the course. So anyway, you're watching this video, so obviously you have clicked on the Getting Started button. So let's open that page here, and you'll see there's a blurb about navigating this course. So some key things to remember in this course, because we are completely online and asynchronous, you really need to be keyed into the announcements. If there are any kind of changes being made or any kind of reminders that I might send, I rely on announcements, the course announcements, to get information out to students. So make sure that your notifications are set to accept announcements so that you will receive an email when an announcement has been posted. You can click on this link to learn how to do that if you're unsure how to do that. It's really simple. You just click on your account, and somewhere under the account, you will see something for notification settings. But this page tells you everything. The module pages are accessed using either this module button, or if we're back on the home page, you can click on those red buttons underneath course content. We also have a resources module, which has several helpful resources for you as an online student. Two of those links are from the university. One is it's from UC Claremont. One is a whole student resources module with helpful links and helpful information. The second one is a link to our online library. But underneath that, and I'll show you in a moment, underneath that, I have a couple of pages that I've set up for information regarding how to navigate the course, and that kind of stuff. So that's the course overview page, which is nested under the resources module. And again, I will show you once I hop back into the home page. If you are new to Canvas, there is a module that I have set up. I did not create it, but it is set up to explain how you navigate Canvas. So that's a very helpful module if this is your first time and you really don't know what you're doing. This will help you. Personally, from a student standpoint, I used Canvas when I was in graduate school, and that was after many, many years of being away from the university environment. So it was all new to me over 5 years ago. And I found it to be very easy to learn how to use Canvas as a student. So I don't think you have anything to worry about. I think it's a lot easier to navigate than some other type of online learning system like Moodle or Blackboard or any of those. So to navigate through those kinds of things, the modules, you just look down at the bottom of the page here in the corner to the next button, and it will take you to the next page. If you are not in Eastern time zone, you'll need to adjust for that. I live in Eastern time zone. UC is in Eastern time zone. So that is our default setting in the course. All due dates and times will default to the shown Eastern time. So if you're in a different time zone, you need to make sure to set your time zone in your account so that Canvas will then adjust all your due dates and times shown in your local time zone. If you have problems with that, you of course can reach out to me and we will brainstorm how to fix that problem. If you're accessing from a mobile device, make sure to look up the mobile guides. I'll have more to say about that in our syllabus overview. There will be a syllabus overview video that I will record separately because that is just a lengthy thing. And again, I like to just put it into little bite-sized chunks. So the first steps, of course, you're watching this course overview video. Next, you'll want to review the syllabus and watch the syllabus overview. And then you can go and review the resources available in the resources module. And then lastly, you can look through the modules and take a look at the first week. So let's jump back to the home page. Here's that resources module that I told you about. This will take you into the modules, and here we have Claremont Student Resources Spring 2025. These are the two links that I was telling you about. The Claremont Student Resources will then open up in a new page, a different module. It has Canvas tutorials, technical help, policies, so on and so forth. So if you need any kind of help, this would be the good place for you to go to. And then let's see, go back. Go back. There we go. Back to the resources. And then we also have the Marcotte Library at UC Claremont for students. We have that link here, but we also have library resources in our navigation panel on the left-hand side. So we looked at the getting started page, and then we have a course overview page. Excuse me. So again, this is a blurb that will tell you a little bit more about how we do things in this course. If you want to learn more about me, there is an About Me page that gives you a brief bio, where my areas of expertise are, so on and so forth. We do have a weekly procedure. Even though this is an online course, you aren't free to do anything whenever you want to. Just because, you know, we're all working together and I have to grade things and I do need to have due dates and so on and so forth. So even though we don't have a designated meeting time, I have designated Monday as the official start of our week. So it's a good idea to check in every Monday morning, usually by 8 a.m. The module and assignments will be open for you to see what's expected of you each week. I usually will record overview videos somewhere towards the end of the previous week or on the weekend before the new week, and that will be open and posted by 8 a.m. on Monday morning. I also send out a weekly announcement just to give you a heads up of what we have in store for us that week. And if anything has been changed, again, look at 8 a.m. on Monday morning. There might be occasional assignments that are due midweek, but typically we have things due Sunday by 11:59 p.m. And I'll show you that once we go into an assignment excuse me. So it's a good idea to check Canvas every day. Even if you're not working, if you at least take a peek, make sure nothing new has popped up. Make sure that you're reminded of the due dates, so on and so forth. I will not be reminding you of due dates. That is your responsibility. You're adults. So you really need to be responsible for yourselves. Right now, the only assignments that are due in the middle of the week would be peer reviews. So you will have 3 peer reviews, and they will be due on the Wednesday after a draft has been due. And discussion board follow-ups. Those also would be due on Wednesdays. But other than that, everything is due 11:59 p.m. Sunday, which is at the end of the current week. So the way the course is organized, they're organized into weekly modules, and those modules contain all of the resources, all the readings, and all the assignments that you need for learning. Any videos that I want you to watch, those will be posted there. And I will open up a module in a moment so that you can see what that looks like. So I really do recommend navigating the course by module. If you just go by your to-do list, or you just go by the list of assignments, if I view this as student and I go to the home page, you'll see there's a to-do list. If you solely go off the to-do list, you are missing so much important content. Likewise, if you just go into assignments and you start doing assignments, you're missing a lot of important information. If you click those show by due date, right? So I highly recommend that you navigate using the course modules. Back into the course overview page. So it's always a good idea to read through the weekly module, your assignments, and any other course materials early in the week. Don't wait until it's due, because then you might be late with something, but also you might realize suddenly that you need a lot more time to complete a task than you thought. So don't go in at 8 o'clock on a Sunday night and expect that you can get everything done by 11:59 p.m. There is work that you have to do throughout the week. It might be reading something, it might be writing through something, it might be posting to a discussion board. So it's not like you can just wait until Sunday to get everything done. Sorry, that's just how it works. You want to make sure that you enable notifications for course announcements, but also check Canvas frequently. I can see how much time you spend in Canvas as a student. I can go into this People tab and click on your name, and I will see how much effort you have put into the course, how much time you're spending on a given page, on a given assignment, which is kind of creepy, I know, but that also tells me that if a student is only looking at the material for 10 minutes a week, and they're not doing well on assignments, then that might be a reason to have a conversation and, to say, hey, this is the reality of academic life. You have to put a little bit more effort into it, right? Feedback I typically give within 24 to 48 hours of your papers being due. So depending on the class size and the length of the assignment, but typically it isn't too bad. Typically by 48 hours, I will have feedback for you. I do teach 3 classes. One is online, the other 2 are face-to-face. So feedback on longer assignments in a full class, and we do have a full class for this online section, might take a little bit longer. So just be mindful of the due dates for your drafts. Peer review assignments are usually tied to those rough drafts. So it's important that you have timely submissions. You really cannot turn in late drafts. If you fail to submit a draft, it will reduce your overall grade because you won't qualify for that peer review assignment. So it's really important that you get those drafts in. If you're having problems with timely submission, whether it's you're sick or you're experiencing technical issues or a family emergency has come up, it's your responsibility to contact me. And again, these are policies that are set forth in the course syllabus, and we'll go over that in great detail. Of course, time management is a big deal. Part of being a college student and an adult and having a successful life is being able to manage your time. So, whatever works for you, if it is a calendar, if it's a planner, if it's your phone or mobile device, I would recommend that you get all of those assignment due dates entered into some kind of a calendar system, whatever you happen to use. I used to love doing paper and pencil, but I've recently switched over to a more digital system because I have so many calendars to juggle, and I use Google Calendar. But we also have a course calendar here and that kind of thing. So we have some frequently asked questions about online courses. Are they easier than face-to-face? Absolutely not. A lot of students will think, oh, well, because I don't have to be there in person, it's going to be a lot easier. Well, in some ways it might be easier because you're not required to commute and to sit in a classroom. But again, you do have that flexibility, but you still have to spend time working on the course, right? That reading through the course materials, working on the assignments. So it's a good idea to try to plan your week accordingly. If you are working a full-time job, if you're juggling a family, whatever it is, you have to carve out some time to devote to your classes, not just this class, but what other classes you're taking, because it does take a lot of time, right? Yeah, you're not required to be in the seat, but then it takes a bit of time management and self-control and self-discipline to make yourself accountable, right? Do you teach yourself in an online course, and how can you get help? You're not completely alone in this class, right? I will be providing weekly materials for you. I have weekly videos, and of course, I am always available to work with you. We also have a fantastic team at Claremont, as well as on the other campuses. We have the Academic Writing Center and Learning Commons, so it's absolutely vital to make use of those free tutors, that free help that you can access virtually, right? You don't have to be on campus to have time with a tutor. You can do those things virtually. Can you work at your own pace? Will you post every week's assignment so I can work ahead? It's really not advised to work at your own pace. So you can't save everything until the end of the semester and then just dump a bunch of assignments in my lap. The course is designed in a certain way, and it's scaffolded in a certain way so that activities build on one another. We may be doing something small this week and something a little bit this week, and they contribute to a larger assignment. Also, while I may open up the whole course, I really don't recommend that you work ahead, mainly because, again, we have that scaffolded work and there's not a lot of things that you can accomplish ahead of time. I won't grade the work until after it's due for the whole class. So if you get things in early, hoping to finish the course early, that's not going to fly. Will we ever meet in person? Probably not, unless you happen to be on the UC Claremont campus and you want to swing by my classroom. These classes are fully asynchronous. If you need to meet with me, we can do it virtually over Zoom, or again, if you happen to be on the Claremont campus on Mondays and Wednesdays when I'm usually there. I'm there for occasional Tuesday, Thursday for meetings. But I'm definitely there Mondays and Wednesdays until about 12:30. If you want to arrange to meet with me on the Claremont campus, we could do that. Will attendance be required? Absolutely not. I have taught synchronous virtual classes. That was, in the period of 2020 to 2021, and those were absolutely dreadful. I do not hold back my opinion on synchronous virtual classes. I do not like them. I love the energy of teaching in the classroom and being face to face, but that does not translate to virtual meetings at all. And I'm sure you've all had some kind of experience with virtual meetings, whether it's been for work or for school, and they're not ideal. So the asynchronous arrangement here is my second favorite. My first favorite is being face to face, but so you won't be required to attend at particular times online. It is a good idea to start and watch lectures early in the week before you start on the assignment. But again, that's really up to you as far as how you manage your time and how you arrange your calendar. How much am I expected to work each week? For a 3-credit course, it equates to 37.5 instructional hours. That would be the equivalent of when you are in the classroom. And 90 total hours of work outside the classroom. So that means you're expected to work about 6 to 8 hours per week in this course. That seems like a lot. But if you take into account reading and working on assignments, it may work out to be like that. I don't know. It really depends on your skill level and all of the other things that are going on. But that's the general guideline that they give us. So I'm posting that for you. What happens if I'm ill? If you are sick or you have some kind of an emergency popped up, you need to communicate with me. Email me and we will work on alternatives together. It doesn't mean that you have to drop the class or withdraw from the class. Sometimes it does, but not always. I am flexible and I'm happy to work with you if something unexpected comes up. Written assignment formatting, you can read through that. I'm not going to cover all of that information since this video is already long enough. We also have a link for a syllabus. There will be, so you can link to it here or the link over here in the sidebar. We'll click on that. You can take a look at it, but I will give more in-depth information in the syllabus. We do have a downloaded syllabus PDF that you can keep in your files, as well as the course schedule. Important information here, contact information, and of course, the biggest information is you do not need to buy a book for this course. You're welcome. Again, I will talk more about the syllabus in a separate video. And then lastly, we have the modules. We're wrapping things up here. So you've already seen a little bit. This is my view. If I were to view this as a student, it would look a little bit different. So we have the Claremont student resources, and these little arrows open up and close the menu. How to navigate Canvas, and then we have weeks 1 through 5 that are available. You will see the titles of all of the other locked modules, locked modules. Oh, this one needs to be locked up. And you will see this module, plagiarism module. And then some other things. So this needs to be moved up. There's nothing under spring break. It's just there to insert between weeks 9 and 10, I think. So anyway, you can see everything here. You won't have access to everything except for weeks 1 through 5 currently. So if we take a look at week 1, and there will be a week 1 overview, but I just want to open it up so you can see how each of the modules are set up. Every module will look the same. It will just say week whatever overview at top. You'll have a little blurb to read about the overview. We will have module objectives. The checklist is where the assignments are. So each week I'll remind you to review the readings and the media. Those are separate below. And then anything that's due, it will have the link to the assignment as well as the due date. So this first week, you will have an introductory essay. I know that sounds overwhelming. What? I already have to write something? This is really just for me to gauge where you are with your skill set. So don't worry about it. It is not going to be difficult. I promise. And then a discussion board with your introductions. Readings, you can see links to readings. Everything will either be a PDF or a website. And then we also have lectures and media. If there is any kind of a lecture that I have done, I will preface it with Prof. Malat. The exception for that are the weekly overviews. I will not put Prof. Malat there, but usually if you see Prof. Malat, you know that's from a previous online class. I teach online every semester, so I will give you the most updated or at least the best version of any kind of previous lecture that I may have recorded. Most videos that I link here are on YouTube or TED, and I give the time estimates, if not the exact times, in parentheses next to it. And then there are optional materials. For those of you who need it, you can do some grammar review. In previous versions of this course, I used to have a grammar quiz, but I got feedback from students that said that was a bit overkill for them. So I've eliminated those and I've kind of streamlined the course so that we aren't overwhelmed with a lot of unnecessary assignments. But if you need grammar review, I will post some weekly topics for you to take a look at, and any other optional materials for our class topics, such as, writing anxiety, introduction to success, that kind of stuff. I'll post it there at the bottom. So that's what each of the weekly overview modules look like. Again, you will also see nested under the modules the assignments that need to be done. But it's always a good idea to check the overview page again, because there is important material there that will help you to complete the assignments. It's all designed to help you to complete things. My contact information is here. Last name is important to spell correctly. 1L, 2 T's, MALOTT. This is my email. This is my phone number. I ask you to reserve calling me. Don't call me unless it's an absolute emergency. But you can text me if you need to. But I prefer email. Email is more asynchronous than texting. And again, there's also a link to find out more about me. So this is the overview, and it has come to a conclusion. I was probably a little lengthier than I wanted to be, but there you have it. So next thing you will be looking for is the syllabus overview, and then you can get started on your weekly work. I'm looking forward to meeting all of you. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.